Hi guys, and welcome to Steve's Kitchen. Today we're going to be making a very simple scone recipe. This one's got a little extra flavour in it, which we like. Now guys, over the years, whenever my wife wants to make something, if guests have come around or we've got kids over to the house, this recipe is really quick to make. You can have the scones hot and steaming on the side within sort of 20 minutes of people arriving, and they absolutely taste delicious. Now, I call a scone, some people call it a scone. Now, I suppose if you were to skip a scone across the water or give a dog a bon, then you should call it a scone. If you skip stones across the water and give a dog a bone, then you could call it a scone. It's up to you. Anyway guys, look, without further ado, let's have a look at the ingredients you need to make these really delicious homemade scones. So these are the ingredients you're going to need for these scones. You've got 350 grams of self-raising or all-purpose flour. We've got 90 grams of butter, 90 grams of sugar, and 90 grams here we've got chocolate chips. Now we've used milk chocolate and white chocolate chips. This really makes these scones a little bit special. And you've got 90 grams of raisins. You can use sultanas, whatever you like. There's half a teaspoon of salt, 120 millilitres, 4 fluid ounces of milk. You're going to need a bowl to mix this all in, and a cookie cutter here to cut them out. This one's around about 2.5 inches in diameter. Okay, so here I've put my flour into a mixing bowl. I'm just going to add the half a teaspoon of salt in there, and you take your butter and just put it in with the flour. We're going to crumb this together using our fingers. We're just going to mix the butter and break it up into the flour. Continue to rub the butter into the flour. You'll end up eventually, after a minute or so, with a breadcrumb type texture. Just use your thumbs to push that into the fingers and rub the butter through the flour. You don't want to overdo this rubbing of the butter in. Once you've got a nice fine loose texture like that, you can leave that and we'll move on to the next stage. So at this stage we're just going to mix the rest of the dry ingredients into our scone mixture. I'm just using a fork for this. So in go the raisins, the chocolate chips and our sugar. And we just lightly mix those in. One thing with this mixture is we don't want to over mix things and turn it, knock a lot of the lightness out of the scone mixture. So we're just integrating that into the mix. So we're just going to make a well now in the centre of the mix and just add our milk into that. And again, now using the fork, just mix the milk through into the scone mix. So now I'm just finishing this off with my hands. I'm just gently squeezing the dough together, and we're getting a slightly sticky, almost a Play-Doh consistency, and that's turned into a nice, you can see the dough will hold together. Okay, so now I'm going to take our dough onto a lightly floured surface, and I'm just going to just knead that together a little bit. Now we're just pushing this out flat. And you can see there guys, I've got what looks like a giant chocolate chip cookie, and that's about an inch, 2.5 centimeters thick. Now I'm going to take my cookie cutter and I'm just going to cut near the edge and just draw these scones out of there. There's one. There's two. And they are quite thick, and they need to be quite thick, so I'll just cut these out now. So I've cut them all out now. We've got 9 there, and I've got a little bit extra here. I'm not going to bother making this. This is a little sampler. Everybody likes to have one they can try at the end of the cooking process. So we're just going to shape that one into a little... These are really full of texture and going to taste absolutely delicious. Now we're going to take a baking tray and just pop these onto the baking tray. And we're going to pop these into the oven now at 450 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 230 degrees Celsius. That's a pretty hot oven, but it's what you need to make these scones perfect. So there they are on the baking tray. I'm just putting the chef's taster there in the middle. And we'll pop those in the oven. They're going to be in only for about 10 minutes or until golden brown. Just keep an eye on them. So there you are, guys. They've been in there just 8 minutes and they're already fully cooked. So we'll take those out now and pop them on the side. So there they are, guys. All ready and cooked. They're darkly cooked because that's the way we like them. It makes the chocolate more caramelized. These scones originally started as a plain scone. You would probably cook them slightly less and serve them with a bit of jam and cream. You can make them savoury. You can add a little cheese in there, a little cheese and spinach. But as I say, this one is the way we've currently like them, which is with the chocolate and the raisins in them. Tastes delicious. Mix it up, try different things, see what you like. I'm going to let these cool down. I'm going to have this with a nice cup of tea. So there we have it, guys. This is a chocolate chip and raisin scone. If you were doing a more simple scone, maybe without the chocolate chips and raisins in, you just wanted to have it with jam and cream, you'd probably cook these a little bit less, but we like them dark and caramelized. The sugar makes them go nice and dark. And if you break that open now, I'll just break it through, you see inside, you can see you've got the chocolate chips, and these taste absolutely delicious. You've got to give these a try. They're absolute heaven, guys. You've got the molten chocolate in there and the sweetness of a scone. Nice cup of tea. That really is the cat's whiskers. Take care. See you next time.